Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Big Picture with me, Ishan Russell. As today we celebrate the 125th birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar certainly outshines every other leader in terms of public acceptance. No other historical figure or leader, barring perhaps Mahatma Gandhi, can rival him in the number of statues, pictures, books, research, organizations, songs, even political parties, and any other marker of popularity of or about him. But today, as we celebrate 125 years of Dr. Ambedkar's legacy, it is happening at a time when the incidents of casteism, as indicated by cases of caste discrimination and caste atrocities, also show parallel growth. The recent incidents of Rohit Vemula and Dalta Meghwal are still fresh in our discourse. On the 125th birth anniversary of Dr. Ambedkar, each party and organization is in competition with each other to celebrate the icon more grandly. The Bharatiya Janata Party, the Congress, the BSP, the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, the Samajwadi Party in UP and almost all other possible political parties are celebrating the birthday of the father of the Indian Constitution. So the question we are asking today is, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar a mascot or a philosopher? And does his appropriation as an icon also mean accepting his thoughts, his revolutionary thoughts? And joining me tonight to answer these questions are Professor Rakesh Batabyal, historian at JNU, Sanjay Singh, political editor of Firstpost, Syed Zafar, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Ajoy Kumar, national spokesperson of the Congress Party, and we're also joined by Professor Kedar Mandal, president of AFSJ. Professor Batabyal, I'll start with you. Let's first understand the exact legacy of Dr. Ambedkar, because his use as a political icon has sort of watered down the revolutionary ideals and the ideas that he stood for, isn't it?
Not exactly. You know, somebody just can't be an icon without having a philosophy behind him. You know, sometimes the person itself, or person himself or herself, becomes a philosophy. Now, what does Ambedkar or Babasaheb actually symbolizes? He symbolizes a modern personality. You know, nowhere you can see an Ambedkar with a dhoti kurta or pajama kurta or Lakhnavi or sherwani. He is suited, booted, tie. And that is exactly what a large number of our population want to be, a modern person. And in modernity means what? Modernity means equality, justice, freedom, democracy, secularism. And he embodies almost everything together. And in a country where we have layers and layers and sedimentation of hierarchies, inequalities, discrimination, within the upper caste also there will be inequalities and hierarchies. So we have actually given the world one of the finest stratification system of inequalities. And therefore, not just with Dalits versus Brahmins or Dalit versus upper caste, but within a particular caste will also be a fight for equality.
Right.
And therefore, a figure like Ambedkar presents to us an icon, a mascot, a philosopher, all together in one person, that every segment of population can take this modern message of equality. And that's why he'll be live.
You know, but the point is that that message has often been diluted for the vote bank politics that often one reduces identities down to. And Professor Mandal, I would want to get you in on that. I mean, it's a term that I would hate to use, but it often seems that Dr. Ambedkar's legacy has been reduced to that of a mascot, of a Dalit mascot, of a revolutionary of the sorts in that sense.
Yes. Just I want to say that the Ambedkar, I see two kinds of Ambedkar these days. The Ambedkar who were denied education, who were denied to drink water, and at the same time, this time the Ambedkar, the peoples are going to acquire the Ambedkar. Two kinds of Ambedkar just I am looking. And why this type of acquiring the Ambedkar is happening, it is you know all the politics, where the politics is going on. And politics for what? Just I want to say that Ambedkar is such an icon. People are saying that he is only a Dalit icon. No, he has fought for SC, ST, OBCs, minorities, Adivasis, on all deprived sections of the society.
Yeah, anybody who's been marginalized, and that is, I think, the greatest amount of symbolism that we can associate with Dr. Ambedkar, and a modern approach as well. And I would want to, I'll get back to you, Professor Mandal, but I want to get in Sanjay Singh as well, because Sanjay, you wrote a great piece today, and in that you've listed out how the appropriation of Dr. Ambedkar's legacy is happening vis-a-vis the political atmosphere in the country, vis-a-vis what's at stake, especially with UP in 2017. So, and that seems to be across political parties, across political lines.
Ishan, UP, for instance, is one example where Kansiram and Mayawati successfully kind of appropriated legacy of Dr. Ambedkar, statues and legacies talking about him. And Kansiram came in an age where there was no social media, and even if he lived today, perhaps he would not have used. Ambedkar's philosophy and that demigod status is kind of admired and accepted by a population which is marginalized broadly, not just Dalit, but also the pattern. We actually debate merits and what Ambedkar actually stood for, what should be, what should not be. But then the fact remains that Ambedkar over the years, and particularly now since advent of Modi has appropriated other icons from different other parties, because in BJP, RSS, practically there was no icon. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, of course, he is an icon, but he perhaps is not in a status to talk. Sardar Patel, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, then now you have Ambedkar. If you go by the list, in fact, in last 1.5 years, Modi kind of must have celebrated 10, 12 events, particularly relating to Ambedkar. And today's incident, he is going to Mao. And before that, talking about Dr. Ambedkar in that maritime conference, that itself is a very significant message that he is trying to reach out to the numbers that actually matters, both electorally and also if the intentions are genuine, perhaps for upliftment of that community.
All right. But as far as the political parties are concerned, there is a little bit of an inherent contradiction in Dr. Ambedkar's use as a political icon versus the ideologies and the way the parties had treated Dr. Ambedkar when he was alive. And I want to come across to both the Congress and the BJP, and I'll come to you first, Syed Zafar, because you're in the studio over here with me. But as far as the BJP is concerned, and the RSS to a certain extent also as the parent organization of the BJP, I mean, from Guru Golwalkar to Egrewar, everybody had questioned the very idea of what Dr. Ambedkar had professed, the Indian Constitution. So, I mean, how does the party address that dichotomy where historically you had a different, very different position?
See, Congress has exploited Dr. Ambedkar's name, and so is some other political parties.
No, but are you doing the same thing as well?
No, we are not exploiting. We are just, he's an icon, as one of the panelists or two of the panelists said, that he's an icon for not only for Dalits, but for India as a whole. And this is what he should have been respected by the Congress party, who ruled India for over 50 years. But unfortunately, he didn't get Congress party.
But Mr. Zafar, just explain to me that why suddenly in 2016, I mean, the BJP hadn't been talking about Dr. Ambedkar all this while celebrating his birth anniversaries, I mean, for 125 years till 2016, where in 2015 we have Constitution Day and further such things.
Tell me who conferred Bharat Ratna to Dr. Ambedkar? Which political party conferred Bharat Ratna to Dr. Ambedkar? It is BJP. It is the NDA government, last NDA government when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. So you must appreciate that we never exploited Dr. Ambedkar's name, but he deserves a respect. He should have been given respect, which Congress failed to give, because Congress could never come out of this Nehru, Indira and Rajiv names. Everywhere you go in the street, you will find either Nehru or Indira or Rajiv's name in every place.
Okay.
So Dr. Ambedkar's name or Sardar Patel's name, or for that matter, other icons' name have never been appreciated by people, by the political
and
party.
I think that's a fair criticism of the Congress party. Dr. Ajoy Kumar, coming across to you, and this is a charge that Prime Minister Modi himself leveled today in Mao on the Congress party, that for 60 years you've systematically reduced the identity of Dr. Ambedkar to a mere vote bank. So how can you talk about it now and celebrate his birth anniversary? And I'm sure you would have similar allegations against the BJP.
No, on the contrary, they should appreciate BJP's stand.
I'll let Dr. Kumar respond first.
You know, I'm amazed with Mr. Zafar saying that Mr. Vajpayee conferred Bharat Ratna. So this is the WhatsApp, Twitter, lies. He was conferred in 1990, and it was Mr. VP Singh's government. Now, I might say that VP Singh was ex-congressman. I'm not going to talk and, deal in WhatsApp and Twitter and miscommunication, which the BJP does. Now, the other issue is whether Ambedkar ji, he was brought as the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution. He wasn't a political opponent of the Congress, but Pandit Nehru and the Congress, Sardar Patel brought him in the ministry, and that was in the interest of the nation. So did we bring Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and all other people. But the question again is, the ideals of affirmative action, which was captured by the Constituent Assembly, the ideals of what federalism, the ideals of adult franchise, and look at this BJP's double speak. In Haryana and Rajasthan, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Dr. Kumar, we can hear you.
Yeah. In Haryana and Rajasthan, they have brought in a law of qualification and disenfranchised 75% of Dalit women and 50% of Dalit men. And now this BJP people are saying that they are for Baba Sahib Ambedkar. I mean, the Rohit Vemula, attack on Rohit Vemula saying he's not a Dalit. The Mr. VK Singh's statement, the same respected Prime Minister, what did he say in April 2010 on the people of the Scheduled Caste community? So the RSS, first of all, Mr. Zafar should say that he condemns RSS Manuvadi thoughts. Gowalkar was wrong, Hedgewar is wrong, they spoke the wrong things. Then only they can, because the foundation of Baba Sahib Ambedkar's
you don't
was
own
against
up.
a caste-free India.
All right,
The
and a
BJP
caste-free India.
RSS is based on the caste-free section of the supremacy of a particular
we're not going to
social
reduce this
society.
to a game of one-upmanship. This is not the way we do it in Rajya Sabha TV. But thank you very much, Mr. Kumar, for your response. But Professor Batabyal, the fact is that Dr. Ambedkar, has he been reduced to mere statues? Every time we talk about the Constitution, we take his name along with that. But in terms of upholding the values enshrined in our Constitution, how are we faring in 2016?
Exactly what I started with, and you actually brought the question back. I said, what does Ambedkar stand for? And this is the modern ideas of just equality first, justice, freedom, secularism. In fact, today, Rohit Vemula and his mother converted, or his mother converted to, now Buddhism. We have, every state has anti-conversion laws now. So what we have done is, what you are hinting at is a substantive message of Ambedkar has been reduced or be sidelined, and whether we have reduced him to mere icon. No, actually it's a partial truth. Political parties in a democracy have to be responsive to popular aspiration. For Ambedkar statues, for many places, is an icon for Dalit. Not just icon, it's a symbol, is a prerna, as they said, of inspiration. Therefore, for them, it's not mere icon. For many others, it might be an icon because pragmatic politics has to be played out. For many parties which are coming later into the democratic arena to fight democratic politics, where the basic ethos never have been democratic, therefore, in democracy, they have to be pragmatic. Pragmatic is not a good term in that sense in philosophy. And if Ambedkar is a philosopher, pragmatism means acquire everything without compromising your basic ethos. So whether some political party, whether it's a BJP, Congress, whichever political party, the test of the time is whether by appropriating Ambedkar, they are ready to compromise with the basic philosophy, or Ambedkar fits into their basic philosophy. These two tests, if they fail, if they don't compromise or they don't reduce their basic philosophy and just acquire Ambedkar just mere an icon for getting more votes, then it is reducing Ambedkar to a mere icon in a pragmatic politics.
All right. I want to get in Professor Mandal on this because Professor Mandal, even the BSP for that matter, which portrays, Kanchi Ram and Mayawati, after all, did very successfully manage to appropriate the legacy of Dr. Ambedkar to that extent. But has that appropriation and not enough importance on actual upliftment, on actual integration of certain strata into society, into mainstream society, has that been left behind because of vote bank politics?
No. Don't see the Ambedkar's politics is a vote bank politics. BSP is not doing all the things, or all social justice beloved parties are not doing like this. They are doing the best for the deprived sections. One thing is that I want to say, the BJP, what the BJP is doing, on the one hand, BJP is worshipping Ambedkar. And on the other hand, BJP is banning the books of the Ambedkar. You very know that the Maharashtra government has the right to publish the edited edition of the Ambedkar. But who has banned this book?
Right.
On one hand, the person was saying that Ambedkar has been given Bharat Ratna by. It has been processed by the BP Mandal. So what I see in the contest, that the one party, the BJP, is planning to hijack all the icons because they don't have any icons. Because they don't have the icons, so they are planning to hijack the SC, ST, OBC.
All right, it's a serious allegation they made.
Yes.
Syed, Zafar, respond very quickly. I want to go
First
to
of all,
Sanjay Singh.
one correction which I want to make, that I just made a mistake in saying that it was during India government. It's non-Congress government which had conferred Bharat Ratna to Dr. Ambedkar. Having said that, I just want to address one of the concern which he has emphasized. See, had we been giving respect to only Dr. Ambedkar, then you could have given alleged that we are just doing for the vote bank politics. But we are giving respect to all those icons which deserve
that
to
the
be
Congress
respected.
party ignored, and I think
Absolutely, that is what I want to highlight.
Okay, and that is what Sanjay Singh has also written
No,
today.
it's not for vote bank politics. It's not for anything. But those icons who needs to be deserve to be respected should be given respect, and that is what our party is doing.
Absolutely.
Congress party has,
irrespective of what the founding fathers of the
Yeah.
party had written. But Sanjay Singh, coming across to you, and this is perhaps where the Congress erred, that the Congress stuck to the first family too often, and therefore other icons were easily co-opted by other political parties and other political thoughts. Therefore, the Congress lost out of the Dalit vote, and I mean, it's happening across the board with the BJP completely annihilating the Congress in many states. So, is this a trend that we are seeing? And as far as the annihilation of caste itself is concerned, which I would consider Dr. Ambedkar's single biggest idea, are our political parties today ready to do that?
Ishan, see, the fact that we are talking about Ambedkar so much, debating about him, and practically every newspaper that you open today has too many articles on Ambedkar, there have been series of programs, speaks volume of the man who was born 125 years from now. In an age, the man suffered, the man actually climbed up to a hill by his own efforts. The two things, what BJP is saying, BJP, of course, every political party, since they are in politics, they have right to talk about or appropriate icons and propagate, if they can, about their ideology, then that's fine. When problem occurs, then when they actually go into politicking part of that. Social engineering, a term has been in vogue in the BJP and in the RSS for long. They're not using that particular term now. Look at RSS, organizer, the RSS mouthpiece, at least so-called mouthpiece. They have a cover story calling with a picture of Ambedkar saying ultimate unifier. And they say that many people call him a divisive figure, but time will prove that Ambedkar was a great unifier for this country and so on. And there is a detailed article inside. This is at one point in time, the BJP leadership, Prime Minister Modi and various organs of RSS are acting in tandem over the subject. That also made some time ago, long time in fact, in 2002, Bangaru Lakshman as party president. What happened subsequently, everybody knows that. But then Dalit was part of that social engineering. They wanted to integrate Dalit into broader Hindutva fold. It's a different matter though that Ambedkar himself had converted to Buddhism.
Right.
And therefore that
so that's my question. There are inherent dichotomies over here, and I mean it's one thing to talk about in rallies, but in terms of actual annihilation of caste, are our political parties ready for that? I'll pose that question to you, both the Congress and the BJP as well.
The fact that so much is being talked about Ambedkar is also because of the fact Dalits constitute a substantive section of population, and they vote very aggressively. They may not be seen otherwise in social spectrum. But when it comes to vote, they actually vote. And therefore, that fight for their vote, and Ambedkar, of course, is worshipped by many in the community. And therefore, you see that various political parties, at least now, are giving that lip service to Ambedkar.
Okay, Syed Zafar, because I mean, we've talked about the struggle that Dr. Ambedkar went through, but recently we had the example of Dalit research scholar Rohit Vemula, who, I mean, despite all odds, managed to reach the position that he was at and then finally succumbed to the pressures of just his identity. So in that sense, where are we in India today? And as far as annihilation of caste itself goes, does the BJP support that?
Well, first of all, the Rohit Vemula, it was very unfortunate, but what you said that it was not BJP or for that matter, I will not call any particular political party responsible for his death, but he himself is a suicide note. He has mentioned who is responsible for his death and why he is taking his life. So there's no point you should or anyone should blame any political party. Having said that, we must understand that Congress and other political parties have just exploited Dalit votes, but never attempted to bring them to a streamline. And that is what BJP is trying to do, that we know their sufferings, we understand what they are going through, and our Honorable Prime Minister and his vision coincide with the vision of Dr. Ambedkar, and that's what we are trying to bring them to mainstream.
Yes, and schemes like...
And initiate a lot of schemes, and for that matter...
The entrepreneurship, the stand-up India scheme, I think, is geared towards that.
Started on birthday of Jeevan Ram.
A stand-up scheme is one scheme, but there are many. See, we have initiated program from 14 to 24, 10 days we will run those programs. All those initiatives we have taken for the upliftment of Dalit community, which will benefit, which I must ask, you must ask the Congress spokesperson that what they have done for last 60 years for the leave to bring them to mainstream.
That is a fair question. We've already put that to Ajay Kumar. But Dr. Ajay Kumar, what Sanjay Singh was pointing out earlier as well, that the Congress party was too busy defending the legacy of Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, that it completely forgot about the other icons that it had, and therefore the BJP is successfully co-opting them right now.
Now, first of all, I'll answer what Mr. Zafar is saying. So-called believers of who the speech, the statement they give on uplifting of the scheduled caste community, why is it that the SC and ST are in the worst position in the state of Gujarat? This is government records. It is not my record. It is not cooked up. Mr. Modi was chief minister for 15
talk about
years.
India, Mr.
Why is
we're
it
not going
that
to get
Mr.
into an
Rohit
argument.
Vemula was committed suicide for that is invent? Because one sec, let me complete.
Quickly.
My question is, Ishan, why is it that this condition of SC and ST was worse when this Honorable Prime Minister was there as 15 years as Chief Minister? That's a matter of record. The second issue is the Congress party did a lot in terms of philosophy, whether it is affirmative action, reservation, positive action. Lot could be done, accepted. But at least in the thoughts and philosophy, we did our best and we need to do much more for the... But these people want to eradicate reservation. They have spoken so much against Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Suddenly the RS, now the latest is that he was anti-Muslim. They brought in a new theory because the BJP wants to identify their whole Hindutva agenda. So lies and lies and lies, they continue to capture icons only for their...
But would you admit that it was a mistake on the Congress's part, and as far as Dr. Ambedkar is concerned, I mean, he was almost vehemently opposed to the Congress, especially towards the end of his political life and career. So has the Congress lost out on an opportunity in terms of, and it's your mistakes of the past 60 years coming back to bite you now, when the other party is trying to appropriate something that was legitimately your sort of vote bank and your ideology?
Ishan, the question is, we would continue to do positive, whether it's the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Atrocity Act. Baba Sahib Ambedkar said that the law, the law is the way in which you need to transform societies, because societies themselves may not be having the inclination to bring these momentous changes. We brought those changes. We will continue to do it. We have our heart and mind in the right place, and we would not pretend to consider to do event management and do some show in sometime in Delhi, sometime in Noida.
Okay, fair enough. I know you're going with this. I'm running out of time, Ajay Kumar. So I take point taken. Zafar, very quickly.
No, one thing I want to say.
1 second, Mr. Mandal. We'll just come back to you.
Yes.
First of all the affirmative action he is talking about, what has the benefit this Dalit has got? They are still in the same situation that they were in 50 years ago. So you don't talk about the affirmative action you have taken.
So that is what the BJP is planning to do. We understand that.
See, Ishan, Dalit Muslim Brahmin were core of Congress's support base. That support base has withered, and therefore you are seeing what you are seeing. so much of talk about Dalit and Dr. Ambedkar by the BJP.
All right, Professor Mandal, very quickly.
Yes, just I want to say, I want to ask from BJP, what party is doing for SC, ST and OBCs? When on the one hand, Rohit Memla is murdered. He was murdered. I'm blaming.
Professor,
I don't think we'll get into the blame game right now.
Is banned.
I understand.
JNU, Delhi University, reservation policy is not implemented.
Professor,
Just you must have had that
Professor,
OBC,
you
is
must-
I'll have to interrupt.
reservation in
I'm sorry, I'm
MPO
running out of time
in
now.
JNU.
you are ignorant of the fact he was not murdered. He has committed suicide.
Fair enough. I think Rohit Memla
yes,
and
but
this conversation
what
has happened enough
circumstances
and
he
continues to
has
be part
committed
of a
suicide?
mainstream discourse. Professor Mandal, one second. Professor Batabyal, final word to you. In terms of Dr. Ambedkar's legacy or his revolutionary idea, I mean, what thrives in India today? I mean, I would say that the fact that we still all swear allegiance to the Constitution is a sign of the greatness
The
of the
very
man.
fact that we have not become Middle East despite all provocation, like ISIS and other things. The fact that we have not become Burma with a military junta. The fact that we have not become Sri Lanka with Tamil Tigers, one issue, language they could not handle. The fact that we have not become Pakistan with all kind of problem is the fact that we have all these icons. So no matter whichever party tries to burgle the icon from each other,
Okay.
the fact that we have this philosophy with us, the parties have to synchronize their philosophies with the philosophies of the icon they're appropriating.
Okay.
If they are not, then they're cheaters. They're not just exam in the matriculation exam in UP and Bihar or other places, they're cheating the country as a large. I hope this is a time when they introspect. Congress, for instance, in its basic program, equality,
Right.
from Karachi Resolution 1931, equality was there. So they have somehow tried to do
So
that.
implementing
I hope
the
BJP does
idea-
it. BJP does it. While it appropriates, if they bring equality as a major, because this is the time when equality as a principle is attacked from all corners.
All right, and that I think would lead me to my next debate, but that we'll do another day. Thank you very much, all of you gentlemen, for coming in and helping us understand and celebrate the life and the celebration of 125 years of the birth anniversary of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. I leave you with the words of Dr. Ambedkar himself, who spoke about the iconic nature of how people want to invest more in men. And he said that I am no worshipper of idols. I believe in breaking them. And he also said that I have hopes that my countrymen will someday learn that the country is greater than the men they worship. We'll leave you with those words. Thanks so much for watching.